Just a mile from the UT Tower, 3,000 attendees gathered at the Texas Capitol where just a month prior the controversial heartbeat bill was passed. In attendance among them were UT students ready to make their voices loud and clear.
It can be hard as a woman in Texas to feel like you have power, but when you come to an event like this where there's more women and men allies than you can imagine, you feel powerful, and you're helping other people feel powerful as well.
Coming to this protest is kind of an outlet for us, like at least for me, and I think for a lot of us that are here, it's a way for us to make sure that we have something to say about that and we have a way to fight back against it in the way that we can. Because we obviously can't go write laws in that building, but we can stand here and we can protest.
The march was one of hundreds that took place in cities across the country to advocate for reproductive rights and mark the 5th anniversary of Women's March. The Austin March, organized by Women's March ATX, was fueled by the recent abortion legislation.
The main motivation is that the Supreme Court goes back into session next week, and we wanted to show that their decision on SB 8, letting it stand, did not go unnoticed, and that the people of Texas really care about this issue and really care about women and people's reproductive rights.
Student organizers Shoya Tama and Izzy Richards led the march's student outreach committee to increase UT student turnout at the rally.
Women's March National organized millions of people all over the nation, and the fact that we were here in Austin, which is where the brunt of all of these decisions that are being made are taking place, and then also the fact that students our age are being affected by it, right? I think that was really a kicker in making us want to organize.
Part of their outreach included hosting a poster-making session outside Gregory Gym, as well as walking to the march together on that Saturday morning.
It was just nice to come together for poster making and be able to see the people that we were reaching and see their passion and their creative outlets by making all of the posters, but then also people would come up and be really interested in getting involved, and having conversations with those people was great. And a lot of times they would come up and ask, what's the goal here? What are we doing here? Really, truly, the right answer to what are we doing here is providing that avenue for people to voice their frustrations. It is not our job to write the message. It's our job to amplify the voices of people who are most affected by it.
Student members of Voters of Tomorrow Texas, a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization part of National Voters of Tomorrow, emphasized the importance of converting the rally's energy into action through voting.
For us, it is about protecting a woman's right to choose and understanding that bodily autonomy is so important, and that's something that we can only get if we are voting for that, and we're actively taking steps to make that change by registering to vote. So we're out here registering voters, demonstrating the power of bringing youth voices to the halls of government.
Commonly referred to as the Heartbeat Bill, Senate Bill 8, spearheaded by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, bans abortions as early as 6 weeks after conception. Attendees and speakers, from activists to elected officials to attorneys alike, expressed their concerns with the passing of the bill. Among the lineup was UT Law student Zoraima Belais, attending the rally as a representative of the Lilith Fund, an organization that helps people cover the cost of their abortions. Belais talks about how Senate Bill 8 has been completely devastating for people seeking abortion care, considering 85% of abortions occur after 6 weeks, so it is limiting abortion care for a vast majority of Texans.
I had an abortion, so I am deeply committed to making sure that other people have access to care regardless of income, and that's what the Lilith Fund does. We help people cover the cost of their abortions, and those are the most marginalized folks in our state. So we're out here to push back, fight back against these laws, and make sure that everyone has access to abortion.
No man should have the right to tell women what to do with their bodies, especially if it's under circumstances of rape or neglect or similar situations like that. It's just bullshit. Because women, we know our bodies best.
A common theme throughout the speakers was the importance of intersectionality in the conversation about reproductive rights.
If I were to get pregnant, that would be a huge issue for my dreams, that under this current legislation, my life would be completely changed. But I also recognize that I'm a white woman with the privilege to possibly leave the state, and that's not something that everyone has the same privilege to do. So I think it's important that we both look at our own place of privilege and also really go out there and try to fight for others.
I think, more than anything, more than this being a man versus woman
Counter-protesters were also present, including pro-life students advocating for conversation about the alternatives to abortion.
One thing I really got out of it was that there's people who are willing to have dialogues and conversations. So even in the middle of this, it's not just a screaming match. There's people on both sides who are willing to discuss and hopefully help women in.
Organizers, speakers, and attendees shared their common hope for the outcome of the march.
We believe that the majority of people believe that people should control their own health decisions and that they need a way to figure out how to channel their energy into the same place, and that bringing a rally together like this does that.
Everyone here is already very dedicated to the cause, so the way you take that energy and you turn it into action is through voting, and it's so important that we get that.
I hope students take away that you have a voice, you have a power, you have a responsibility, and if you don't like the people that are representing you inside this building, you can take them out.
I've been thinking about it, I should. Yeah. Ain't no doubt about it's time to. Okay. Ain't no way around it if you're tired of this time.